Welcome to the One Night Show. I didn't put mine around the back. I'm going to.
This is our fifth
or sixth.
Fifth One Night Show. We started back in 2020. It's a night that we look forward to, so welcome to the One Night Show.
So we also realize that there's a lot of y'all that, there we go.
I told you.
I know. I shouldn't have said what I said earlier.
I told you not to say it.
I'm sorry. So if y'all don't know, every time we do a one night, what happens? We have technical difficulties every time. So, there it is. All right, so how's tonight going to work? So we're gonna do an intro and a welcome, explain a little bit about what's gonna happen. We're gonna play a game. How many of y'all have ever played Extreme Bingo before? Anybody? Anybody? There's a couple. We're gonna do Extreme Bingo. If you're wondering about why we have the stuffed animals and candy up here, because those are the prizes for Extreme Bingo. And then at the end, we're going to invite some couples up that are small group leaders in the student ministry. We're going to do a little bit of a newlywed game with them and ask them some questions and see if husbands and wives can get the questions right. So we're going to ask them, hey, can you get this right? Yes. So we'll explain. I promise we'll explain. So what's the one night show? So what we like doing at Valentine's Day is we enjoy doing something a little bit different.
Elena is.
And typically for one night, we are all together, 6th grade through 12th grade, and our adult leaders here in the room together. What we like to do tonight is turn it into a little bit of a game show, right? So we do a game. We have guests on stage where we ask them questions, and Zach and I really enjoy this.
Yes.
Very much so.
So one time a year you'll see us in suits.
It's the only Wednesday night that you'll see us in suits. Maybe on a Sunday morning, maybe at a wedding, maybe at a funeral, but it's the only Wednesday night that you're ever going to see us wear suits. Now, we did get asked where are the ties. We have to draw a line somewhere. So we will not do a tie. I do want to ask small group leaders, if y'all would grab your clipboards and just look in the room and see if you see people. We know it's not going to be exact, but we'd like to get as close as we can. So, I know where I'm going. All right. So I need 4 volunteers. 4. I'm passing those out. I'm going to get that done. I need 4. All right, Avery. Yeah, come on. No. You had your hand up. Come on. Actually, all 3 of the middle school guys back there, all y'all can come up here. You talking about Widow's Banquet? I am. I'm about to while they're passing them out. What? Somebody messed with it. All right, so while my volunteers are coming up here, hey, Zach, the cards are over there. Hey, y'all can see Zach. Zach will give you instructions. Hey, Silas, put the Widow's Banquet up. So in 8 days, everybody listen to me. Days. So a week from tomorrow, we have an incredible opportunity to serve a specific group in our church. Next Thursday, February 22nd, the student ministry is going to be serving food at the Widow's Banquet. So we're going to be taking plates to widows. We're going to be filling cups up for widows. But in order for us to be able to serve, we need servers. We need help. So let me encourage y'all, if you can be here next Thursday night, we need you to be here. We need you to sign up. Yes. Tyndall is the only person signed up right now. So, yes. So, you signed up?
The people that volunteer to hand out stuff. I need to go hand out pins next.
Yes. So we need people to help serve at the Widow's Banquet. So please sign up. If you need service hours, we can give you service hours. Yes. Well, it is. It's the deacons host the widow's banquet. So that's what it is.
Good job.
Okay, I want to give a disclaimer real quick before we start the game. There is absolutely no way, shape, or form for Zach and I to cheat. I'm just going to tell you all that up front. We are not cheating. There is no plan to cheat. Not that, how many of y'all absolutely do not believe me? Okay, I figured that. I promise you.
Because here's the thing. We actually want all this stuff gone as quickly as we can.
Yes, we sure do. We cannot be that close. We have to stay on opposite ends of the stage. So, we want it gone. What? Does everybody have a pen? Yes, more pens. There's also pencils.
Hey, if you volunteer to hand stuff out, we need some more people to hand out
Yeah.
pens.
Pens,
And,
pencils, things to write with, writing utensils. You want the what? All right. The whale. We have people that want the monkey, the iguana.
I like the iguana.
That was
If you need a
Zach's
pin,
choice.
hold your hand
Yeah,
up.
if you need a pin, raise your hand.
And we need one adult volunteer. Adults.
Adult. We need one adult volunteer.
I don't care who it is. I just need one adult to come to the front.
Hey, Kathy and Jason. Kathy, we have a job for y'all. Come here.
Wow.
Woo!
We cannot be. This interview is going to be
Here, I'm going
interesting.
over there. No, it's not. All I need y'all to do is, as the numbers appear on the screen, walk them off. Okay? And all we're going to do, we're probably only going to check like the first.
All right, raise your hand if you still need a pin.
And then after that, it's just going to be, because this game can like run way long.
I don't know where the pins went.
If you
What?
get a clipboard, just take one of those. What is doing?
Probably me.
Yeah. All right.
We got one pin over here.
Brooklyn.
Just hit her with it.
Oh! You caught it, didn't hit the floor.
She caught it. I lost a bingo card, but she caught it.
I'm taking mine. Hand me one of those. Is it?
It's just both the balance.
Okay. All right, so look at your bingo card. How many of you have ever played bingo before? I promise you, unless you played extreme bingo, you've never played this game before. This is what will happen. Things will appear on the screen. It will either be a number. If the number is on the screen, what do? You mark it on your sheet. The numbers run 1 through 75. If you have a number bigger than 75 on your card, I'm sorry, that line won't be bingo. I don't think there are, but
Hey, what is a bingo?
yeah. So, what is a bingo, Zach?
We didn't decide which
We didn't. You tell me. I'm gonna say
all of
up
them.
or down.
I was gonna say all of them.
You
So
wanna say all of them?
let's do. Any bingo is considered bingo.
Okay. So you can do up and down.
Up, down, diagonal,
Diagonal.
Or-
across.
or four corners.
Oh. Four corners. So, hey, shh, everybody listen. This is the important part. Shh. Because if you don't hear this, you're not going to know what to do. So, numbers will appear. There is one other thing that will show up on the screen, and it says Wheel of Consequences. When the Wheel of Consequences spins, it will land on something such as, if someone gave you chocolate for Valentines, trade cards with someone. Or it could
And
be, hey,
listen.
hey, y'all need to listen. It could say,
Hey, guys.
it could say, if you have eaten any heart-shaped food this week, trade cards with somebody. It could say, ride the elevator to the first floor and run back up the stairs.
Hey, but the beauty thing about this is while you're running, the numbers are still going. So you miss it, you miss it.
So that's just, hey, so here's the deal. If the wheel of consequences pops up, that we're going to count to like 3 or 5, the numbers will start rolling again, and that's it.
And
So
if it tells you to trade cards, you can trade with anyone.
you can trade
Even
with
if
anybody.
the person doesn't have to trade cards.
You can trade with anybody. Now, there is one really bad consequence. Everybody listen. There is one really bad consequence that could pop up. And it says rip your card up and start a new one.
And you can come up here and
It's
get a
all-
brand new one.
And there's a brand new card. But here's the deal. What's going to happen as soon as you rip your card up?
Numbers are going to continue.
The numbers will keep going. So,
If it
Everybody.
applies to you.
yep. All right.
All right.
Now, what do you do to win? Here's the important part. You yell out bingo, and you come up here. Zach and or I will check your card. If you got a bingo, you get to pick a prize. There are multiple prizes. So there should be 15 or 20 people that get to win. Many prizes. However, here's the catch. The first person that gets bingo gets to do what? They get to choose. And subsequent people come up. You get to choose. Now, while you're, listen, if you think you have bingo and you come up here for us to check, what's going to happen? What keeps rolling? The numbers. So if you don't have bingo, what's going to happen? You're going to miss numbers. If you have bingo, you have to
You
stand
may want
up,
to move that chair.
yell, bingo, and then run up here. If you don't stand up and you don't yell, we're not even going to look at your card. So you have to stand up and yell bingo, and then come up here.
I say let's go.
All right. Hey, Charlie and Silas, are y'all ready?
This is a competitive sport in nursing homes.
Hey, you gotta put it up on take the title screen off.
Right side. Middle right side.
You see it? Oh.
On stage. You gotta go here.
Oh, there we go. 66. All right. Hit it. Hey, hit it again, Silas. Oh, no, hit it again. 43. Hit it again. Hit it again. $71. Hit it again. 69. Hit it again. 67. Hit it again. Wheel of consequences.
Yeah! All right. Silas, pull up the wheel.
You want me to go back there?
I got it.
Okay.
Remember, you got to go. Watch out, watch out. You got to go over here. Go to. I don't know which one's which.
All right. Hit it.
Stop it.
If you've eaten chocolate today, trade cards.
Stop. I go quick.
24.
Stop.
4. 12. Oh. We got our first possible bingo. Keep going.
Oh.
Keep going. Keep going.
Hold on. He's already did this one. Doesn't count. Don't switch. Don't switch.
Oh, you got to get the, or the four corners.
Yeah. All right, go.
He was close. If you ever made a TikTok video, trade cards. Hit it. $31. $44. Wheel of consequences. Yeah, will you be my Valentines if you trade cards with somebody? $16. $22. Wheel of consequences. If your parents gave you something for Valentine's Day, trade cards. 70. 59. 64. Yes. 14. 45. Wheel of consequences. If you've eaten conversation hearts this week, trade cards. 10. 34. 62. 15. You got to stand up and yell bingo. Wheel of consequences.
Y'all better get there before you got to switch cards.
Yep.
That'd be unfortunate.
No, you come on up.
If you went on a date with your Valentine, trade cards.
Here. 58. Wheel of consequences.
I lost my mouse.
I promise you got to yell bingo.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
I think the mouse just died.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's over there.
Yeah.
I just got to find
All
it.
right,
Which
Henry.
direction? Yeah, I just got to figure out which direction it is.
Now, there was no rule that family members could not win. I did check his card. All right.
It's
Hey,
not leaving the screen.
did you get it? You sure did. Pick away. Don't get the monkey. They're saying don't get the monkey. You can pick whatever you want. Candy, animal. Okay. I think it's a solid choice. Solid choice. Do we need to trade places?
There we go.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Give someone at least 2 years older than you a hug. Oh! 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 Lots of hugs. $37. $49. $72. No, hold on. No. We got a line. Pick away, sir. Oh, no. They're in line first.
Yeah!
Back of the line. Go ahead.
If you're in 6th through 8th grade, trade card with someone. That counts if you're in line too, right? Oh, I did it again.
Yeah, hey. Yes, it does.
$36. $32.
Very good.
Will of consequence. Hold on.
good.
Let's see if there's any prizes going to be left. Do we have prizes left?
Yes, you're good.
Looks like we do.
Yep, you're good. Cotton candy. Hey, listen. Time out.
Yeah, that's what I think
We
we're good.
have, all right, so, Zach, as long as these three actually have it,
All right.
this is it. Yep, you're good. Yep, you're good. It'd be really bad if I said, no, you're not good. But you're good.
I got it.
I actually do know the numbers.
Hey, Michael has something to say.
How do you really know that they have it? Because you have not been keeping up with the numbers.
I have.
See,
some of them.
yeah.
Some of them. The funny part is, there were two cards that I looked at that I'm not 100% sure if one of those numbers had been called. The rest of them were like 60s and 70s, and I was like, yeah, okay, I've seen those.
That went quick.
Yeah, that did go quick.
All right, so
very
now is a time that we look forward to.
Every year.
Is bringing a few of your small group leaders, some adults in the church, and we get to interview them. And
I'm just moving that out of the way.
all I saw was somebody go flying.
Yeah, I'm just moving it out of the way.
So let us go ahead and introduce to you tonight's panel. The first couple we have. Go ahead, next slide. Is Rob and Trisha Andrus.
The second couple that we have, I know.
That's back
the
when
second
Rob
couple
met here.
that we have is Craig and Sally Pittman.
And then our final couple of the night, we have Katie and Scott Bird. So usually, we ask a bunch of questions, and we let them introduce themselves in the way that they want to be introduced. But instead, we're going to play the newlywed game, meaning the way they're going to introduce themselves is by we're going to ask a series of questions. No, we're not blindfolding you. We're going to ask them a series of questions, and then we got to see if the husband and the wife have the same answer. That may be one of the questions. Maybe. I don't know. So, ooh.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Y'all ready for this? All right, make sure you keep.
Do not show your spouse your board.
So, the first question that we have is when you get into the car, who drives? Whichever name it is.
Don't work.
Yep.
You're disqualified. I missed number 1.
Likely story, Craig. Likely story.
That's right.
All right, everyone have an answer? All right, what do y'all got? Me, Trisha. All right,
Okay,
y'all get a
right.
point. Craig.
Yep.
And
Oh, they all got
All right.
it right. All right. Number 2. Where was your first date? Where was your first date?
the more details you get right,
Right.
the more points you may get. But it also could be negative points if you get it wrong.
I know what my first date was. It was the Clemson Citadel football game in September of 2000.
How romantic.
Hey, look, I will say I didn't remember the date. Jennifer knows the date. She just went the 7th.
All right, everyone got it? All right, let's start on the other side.
Yeah. Katie and Scott. Scott's still right. Okay. The
landing, Fort Rucker.
All right. Craig,
All right.
go ahead and show yours.
Blind date.
Blind date at Ruby Tuesday.
Okay.
All right. Robin Tricia.
Fish fry, Auburn
Fish fry,
University.
Auburn.
I don't like
Street
fish.
Station. It was at a fish fry? Did you know you were going on a date? Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Did you know she didn't like fish?
So who set you up, Craig? Who set y'all up on the blind date?
It was my aunt, Marilyn, and she called Sally's mama and said, which one of your daughters isn't dating somebody?
See, and this is why I love this game, because you get stories like that. That's why I love this. Zach! Hey, I do want to say that neither Zach nor I knew that before this. And if we knew that before this, we still would ask that question.
I'm going to change the third one up a little bit.
Okay.
What was the date of that date?
Hey,
Fine.
Date or day of the week is fine. I'll take day of the week. Look, no, they're like, nah. The Bruces over there like, you're letting them off the hook.
I wasn't going to let him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, y'all got it?
Y'all got it? All right, Robin, Tricia.
Friday.
Friday.
All right.
Good job.
All right, what y'all got? April 1st.
Is that right?
They got the date and the year.
Wow. Hey, Scott and KD. That's okay. It was close.
Now the date that matters.
All right. What date is your anniversary?
Like wedding anniversary. Actual day.
The
You're not
date.
getting it by, it was on a Saturday.
No, the date.
Rob's thinking really hard.
Mine was sometime in May. Jennifer didn't hear me.
All right, everyone got it?
Hey, Craig and Sally, we're going to let y'all go first.
June 17th.
2006.
All right.
All right. Robin.
I figured if he got the date correct on the first date, he would get that one right.
Yeah. Robin, Tricia.
2002.
Okay. Scott and KD. We did not set out to cause marital problems.
I'm loving this. All right.
Hey, no, talk about, Zach says, I'm loving this as the only student pastor here that's not married.
Exactly, so I get to love it right now. All right. Which parent is the one that the kids think will answer them the way they want? Which parent is the one that the kids think will answer them the way that they want?
Which is funny because I see some of the panelists looking at their kids in the audience and grinning at them. No cheating, Trisha.
Just to be clear, on this question, me and Brian placed bets on y'all's answers.
Yes, we sure did.
And we actually went into specifics.
Hey, Henry, when you want to get the answer that you want, do you ask me or do you ask Mom?
All right.
That is a smart boy. Hey, if you can't say, just point. It's like, no.
Entrances.
All right.
Oh.
What? Go ahead.
Whoever you want to go first.
Scott and KD.
Yeah, Scott, okay. That's, all right. Pittman's. Yeah. All right. Me and Brian are 100%. Now, this is not part of the game, but we have to know. Does it depend on the kid?
Does it depend on the kid? So no. So we were wrong.
We were wrong on that. We went through each child and thought which one they would go to.
Right. Correct. All right. All right. This is possibly our last question. Possibly. Zach and I may come up with one. This is the last question on our run sheet, but we may come up with one on the fly. Who said, I love you first? Then you hear the ooh.
Ooh. Hey, Charlie, we turned mine down a little bit.
And for all the married people in the room, I hope you know the answer to that one for your own sake.
There we go. All right.
Look. Who wants to go first? Anybody want to go? All right, Craig and Sally? Yeah, good job. All right, who wants to go second? All right, good job.
Scott doesn't look very happy.
He doesn't.
Okay.
All right. Do you have anything you want to make up on the fly?
I think I'm good. You got anything?
I think I'm okay.
I mean, I kind of want to keep this going, but
I really do too, but
we may get back to it.
we could. No, they weren't.
We weren't too mean.
So I will say that out of the two of us, I'm the one that came up with those questions because I didn't think Zach was qualified to ask those kind of questions. So,
ouch.
What? They did. I understand. I am married. For almost 19 years. So, all right. So granted, we still have fun in this.
Y'all put the
section.
boards down now and
just
grab
put
the
boards down
microphones.
and put the seats. So one thing with the one-night show that we want to do every year when we do the Valentines one-night show is we want to ask the couples that are on stage questions about how marriage and their faith in Jesus work together, right? So because I'm telling you this as your married student pastor, if your faith in Jesus does not influence how you approach marriage, then both the way you approach marriage and the way you approach believing in Jesus, probably one or both of those things are out of whack. So and the other thing too is we realize, right, and even in this room, but the statistics that they've done on teenagers today, if this was just a slice of humanity, right, just teenagers from every walk of life in the United States, over half of you, there would be some type of brokenness in your home, whatever that looks like. And so what we want to do is not to show you perfect marriages, because do any of y'all have a perfect marriage? No. So you notice that every single one of them is shaking their head. I would shake my head and say, no, Jennifer and I don't have a perfect marriage. But what we want through some of the questions we're going to ask is we want to show y'all as teenagers what it looks like for two fallen, broken, imperfect people to be married and be attempting to seek after Jesus, right? So that's what we want you to see a picture of as we ask questions.
So what we want to do now is, now that you have a microphone and not a whiteboard, is to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah. Whoever can go first, we don't care.
I'm Scott Bird. I'm a local guy, and I'm your sheriff. And this is my wife, Kate.
I'm the small group leader for the 11th grade girls too.
All right, I'm Craig Pittman, and I'm the small group leader for the 11th and 12th grade guys. Yep. And this is my wife, Sally. And what group are you?
Okay, I'm the 7th grade girls.
That should have been a question. Yes.
I'm Trisha Andrus, and I teach 9th and 10th grade girls, and I teach at the high school.
And I'm Rob Andrus, and I teach 7th and 8th grade boys Sunday school.
You got, Rob, that was actually really good.
That was better than we thought it was going to be. So they're actually paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, that's surprising. All right, so what, I'm going to ask a really broad question. So what does it look like to be married and believe in Jesus? So what does Christian marriage look like for y'all? Not everybody answer at once.
All right, I'll go first. The question was, what does it look like to be married and Christian?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. I would say that it's really about understanding kind of what your role is in your marriage. I think as a Christian, you should understand that the most important relationship is your relationship with God first, above and beyond, your spouse. So I think that would be the biggest differentiator between a worldly marriage, which just looks kind of not with God in the forefront there, and for Christians would obviously have God as the center of and the most important part of that relationship.
Just to add to that, it's something we tell our kids all the time. We have 2 girls and a son, and we tell them, Graham, first of all, you've got to love God first. And the girls, it's not a question. They have to have somebody that cares more about what Christ thinks about them than what they care about the other partner. And if it works that way, it works out. I mean, there's no question that a manly or a guy that loves God is going to be manly. He's going to take care of everything that he needs to. So, you said it. I'm trying to add to it, and it's difficult to do.
For us to piggyback off of that, for us it says sacred union, whereas when you have a worldly marriage, it may not be something that God is the center of. And also, I feel like we're able to love each other better because we're Christians, because we know what grace and mercy and forgiveness looks like that we receive from God. So we're able to give it to each other a lot better.
And a marriage is a love relationship, and God is love, so hand in hand.
I think Pastor Ben talked about it Sunday. He was talking about us being the bride of the church, right? I'm the bride to my groom here, and he's the leader of our home. So even though I cook and I clean sometimes, straighten, sorry.
Straighten.
He cleans, and I straighten. Never cleaned a toilet since I've been married. But he's in charge. So if there's any decision that's to be made in our house, I look to him. Sometimes that's hard. That submission word is super hard because I'm a strong, confident woman. But in a Christian marriage, I submit to my husband.
You jumped ahead, but that's okay.
Okay, I'm going to add one more thing. After you love God, then you love each other. And love isn't just a word, but it's a verb. It's an action. And I think in today's world, just a normal marriage is sort of self-seeking. But in a Christian marriage, you've got God's love, and then you want to show his love to your spouse. And so that's like doing nothing with selfish ambition, but in everything considering others better than yourself.
So, just fair warning, I may go off script a little bit from the questions I sent. Do you think that sacrificial love that you talked about, Sally, do you think that it makes a difference for your kids, like the kids that live, the ones that are here tonight that have the same last name? Do you think that's going to make a difference for them to see that?
First of all, I do want to point them out just to embarrass them a little bit.
Hey,
we've
Craig, thank you. I was
Yes.
giving you that opportunity.
We have Lane right over there. We've got John, Robert, and Craig. So glad
Hey,
y'all are here to experience it.
For those of y'all whose parents are up here, how many of y'all are embarrassed right now? Oh,
That is our job.
thank you, Henry. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Not what I meant, but thank you. Appreciate it. Man,
What was the question again, Brian?
I don't know. I'm just.
Okay.
Oh yeah, about sacrificial love. Do you think that makes a difference for your own kids that live in the house with you?
I do. I think as kids, and as all of y'all are kids, I think your experience and example that is your parents is a big influence on y'all. So the sacrificial love part of our relationship is I would say very, very important. And there's oftentimes we have to go to our children and ask for forgiveness, even as parents. And I think for us, we want to make sure that they understand that it's okay to ask for forgiveness, and to have like a sacrificial love is an important part of any relationship. Most importantly, your spouse, and I think it's good for them to learn that from a young age. So, yeah.
So, how do y'all make decisions in your marriage? Yes.
Okay, even when
It's
you
either
asked us
my
to
way-
come up here.
Look at that.
It's either my way or the highway.
Scott.
I didn't say that. I said I can't.
Oh man.
There's always
She's
discussion.
embarrassing.
Oh.
Always
It's a
discussion.
joint decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a joint decision. Always is.
Always.
I came from a Southern Baptist home. My father was the head of the house. I try to lead like a leader. So, I'm just being totally honest with you. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
What did he take out?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, we always discuss things, even the commitment to come up here tonight. It was one of
Yeah.
those things where if we rarely do anything without asking the other person their opinion. Except for she gave me a surprise Valentines trip this weekend, so so I'm not getting to teach you guys this Sunday. So
At least he didn't cheer that time.
yeah, you got that
Yeah.
right.
So, how do you handle disagreements? Like when you're having those discussions and you're not agreeing about how to make a decision.
I win. Oh, is that what you wanted?
Not,
We have discussions. No, what do you mean disagreements?
well, I'm saying when you're having that discussion and you're trying to figure out what to do, like how do you handle it when y'all see two sides, like you see things differently?
Somebody else start.
Somebody else. Y'all don't ever see things differently, do you?
We give each other space. It was kind of funny because when we first married, I felt like we needed to talk things out immediately. That's how my family did things. Hers did not. And so What I've learned to do is if something is not quite to my liking, and I can tell she's upset, I just leave her alone for probably 30, 45 minutes, and then she usually comes back to me.
Or day.
But yeah, it's just one of those things
And then
that
he
I've had.
comes around.
She wins. She said that to begin with. So.
Yeah.
I would say that you probably don't really know someone truly until you actually have a disagreement. And the reason why I say that is think about your relationships that y'all have with boyfriends and girlfriends that a lot of you may have never even had a disagreement. And if you haven't, that's actually, I think, common. I think most people that are dating, it's kind of a happy time period. But when you're married, you go through a lot of different stressful times. And I think for us, we probably handle disagreements differently today than we did when we were first married, 18 years ago. So, so I say that handling disagreements is difficult. I'd say both of us probably process things differently, and you have to learn that and learn how each other, how you process those disagreements. It's not easy. I mean, it's very difficult. I'll be honest. So it's not an easy thing at all.
KD knows how to work me. She really does. I'm not probably the easiest one to deal with because I'm set in my ways, but she knows how to get her way. I mean, at the end of the day, I give in. I'm probably head full strong for a little while, but I wilt down and we figure it out. But it's a give and take.
Yeah.
That's why the kids go to him.
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing, though. What they're all telling you, and this is, there have been very few times where this has not been true. If you're a person that likes to verbally process things, right, you're going to marry somebody that is not a verbal processor. Right. And so, and I will tell you that is one of the hardest things that you will learn early on in marriage, is how to deal with disagreements. Because one of you, like they've said, wants to talk about it. Right then, right there, let's talk about this until we get this solved. And the other one says, leave me alone. I'm the leave me alone person. Believe it or not, I am the leave me alone person. And it took Jennifer and I many years to figure that out. But she still, to this day, will say, no, we don't, leave me alone. And then we'll figure it out later. But that's generally what happens is in disagreements, is somebody will want to handle it, and the other person says, give me a little bit of space. So y'all have talked about give and take in marriage. What are some PG-rated areas of give and take? Notice I said PG, because I have no idea what's going to come out of this. So where are some areas that you've had to give and take?
Okay. So when Rob proposed to me, we were at Auburn University in front of Haley Center where we first met. I thought that was a question. We were ready for it. Where did you meet? But you didn't ask it.
That was too easy.
But on his knee, this is dead serious. I said yes and cried and woo. And then I said, but never make me move to your hometown. I didn't want to live here. Like, I was from Atlanta, and Auburn was big enough, and I felt comfortable with Auburn, and Enterprise is just too small, and everybody has their friend groups, and you all grew up together, and I'm the outsider coming in. There's no way I could live here. But then our season started happening. His mom passed away when I was pregnant with our first. His dad got sick. We've buried all four of our parents, and just that season of life that I didn't think I'd be going through in my 40s, God sent us here. And I'm the one who said, yeah, we can go. I mean, it was like in a moment of like insanity. I said, we need to move to your hometown. We can do this. And then I almost walked out. Like, I was so frustrated. Why did I say that? But it wasn't my decision. Like, this is where we were supposed to be. This is where we're supposed to raise our kids. I'm working at the best high school in America. Like, I love my job, but I did not want to move here. Like, it was not in my plan, but thank God I didn't follow my plan. I don't know if that was a question.
That was probably the biggest give and take in our.
So for us, on our second date, he told me he was going to run for sheriff. And I said, okay. I don't even know if I like you good enough. But he was basically telling me that if I smart on his part. But I had to come to terms with the things that our family was going to gain, because we've gained a lot from his job change, but also we lost some things in that gaining that we had before. So I've had to swallow a couple of times and just feel like, okay, yes, it's okay that you have to go and do those things, and you can't be here with us when it's a special time for our family. And initially, that was a hard thing for us because I would push back, and he pushed back too. But that was probably one of our biggest give and takes that we had to come to terms with. Because it was a big deal.
You don't have to answer. I see y'all looking at each other. You don't have to. Okay. So how does forgiveness work in your marriage? So what's forgiveness look like?
I think forgiveness is just understanding that there's a comfort and a safety in our relationship. I don't have to wonder if Tricia was intentionally mean to me. It's a little easier, I think, as a married couple that fully trusts each other and rests in that confidence in that relationship. So, when she gets upset with me, I give her space. When I get upset with her, I do the same thing that Craig and Sally did. I've had to tell my kids, Dad was wrong. I was wrong. I was upset about that. I didn't handle that well. And so I'm not ashamed of that, but I think forgiveness for me is not as difficult as it was 20 years ago with her. It's she never does anything intentionally to be mean to me. And so I come at it from that standpoint and just know that we just don't see eye to eye on that, and it's going to be okay. She's going to love me in the end, regardless. So
I would say that, for us, forgiveness is something that we have to seek, I'd say on a regular basis. I mean, if you think about it, a marriage is two sinful people coming together, and oftentimes what happens when you've got sinful people together, there's sinful things that happen. And so asking for forgiveness is something I think that is very, very important that I've had to grow as a man. It's sometimes, I think, hard to ask for forgiveness. I've had to go to my own children and ask for forgiveness before as well. And I think it's important for our children to see that as well too. So forgiveness is something, don't think that marriage solves problems. It oftentimes can create conflict and require some very difficult conversations about what is forgiveness in your marriage. And so it's just something we still have to constantly deal with, and forgiveness is a very big, important, constant thing for us.
And I think it's important, like whenever, I ask for forgiveness or Craig asks forgiveness, that we really do forgive, that we don't hold on to that. Because whenever you hold on to that unforgiveness, then it can cause bitterness and, just into a whole other host of things. So I think that is important that, whenever we have sinned against one another, number one, ask God for forgiveness, but number two, ask the other person, and then truly, start living that out. Don't hold on to it.
So I'm not in the forgiveness business. So it is extremely hard for me to forgive. That is one of my major crutches in my life. But now when it comes to KD, she melts me down. She really does. And I'm not in the forgiveness business. We don't forgive you if you do a crime. That's not my place to do that. And we're not going to forgive you. Stuff like that. But when it comes to KD, she's in a special place, and she knows it. So we'll get riled up with each other every now and then, and then she knows how to, like I said, she knows how to handle me. So.
Which is funny though. So how many of y'all struggle with forgiveness and are willing to admit it? And so what Scott said though is right. I think a lot of times for those of us that struggle with forgiveness, I don't think you really get to see what forgiveness looks like until you get married. Because you're making a vow in front of God and in front of other people. And when you read the passages in the Bible about what Christian marriage is supposed to look like the one we talked about last week in high school ministry, where husband love your wives as Christ loved the church. And so when you start seeing those things, you're like, man, like I really do have to love people, like love my spouse the way that Christ loves me, which means that Christ forgave me for my sins, and I have to do the same thing. And if you, at least for me, this is my piece of advice, if you can get one thing right early in marriage, forgiveness is the thing to get right. Because there's a whole bunch of other things that you can get right that will get a little bit of mileage out of, but if you can learn how to forgive your spouse, like really forgive, and not hold a grudge and not build up bitterness in your heart, but really learn how to forgive, man, that can take you years in marriage.
So, I get to be the fortunate person that shows up when the two couples don't forgive each other, and we get involved. So 99.99% of the time, Jesus is not involved when we show up. I see the most brokenest marriages more than anybody gets to see, and my guys do, and it's absolutely terrible. And I've never went into a house that we had to go to on a marriage that Jesus was the center of there, because it's not. It's a substance abuse problem. It's a forgiveness problem. It's a alcohol abuse problem, which breaks marriages down, and we see that, and it's absolutely terrible. I mean, if a couple's got Jesus in their life, you won't see me.
And that's true, because a lot of these people that Scott's talking about that he has to go visit, or his deputies have to go visit, are people that there's some other idol in place of Jesus, where they're worshiping self, or they're worshiping drugs, or they're worshiping alcohol, and not focusing on Christ. So, last question, and this is one that wasn't on your sheet. If you can share one piece of marriage advice to these students, what would it be?
And this is for those, you have sixth graders who's most likely nowhere near dating, to some getting ready to go to college.
Yep.
So very wide variety of ages.
Communication. I'm not afraid to say this or ashamed to say it. Rob's family, we already said, they openly had disagreements. I've heard, they're in heaven, but they had vocal disagreements. Like I saw them yelling at each other. My parents never did that. Were they perfect? Heck no. But they did it behind closed doors. I never saw it. So you bring a communicating man to a non-communicating woman, and you get married, it don't work, right? So in the very first year of our marriage, we were in marital counseling. We were like, something's got to give. Like, we got to figure this out. And I'm the youngest of three girls, so my parents were really strict on dating and what you should and should not do, and you know what I'm saying? So like that part of our marriage was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable with my husband because both of my sisters dated really early and I didn't. I don't know how to say that better because I'm trying to be PC. But I was not comfortable being married, and I was not comfortable communicating with this guy who's like, he can talk to a brick. Like, he can talk to anybody. I was not comfortable. So we, at our church, our Baptist church in Anniston, our pastor was like, because we went to him for advice, he didn't counsel us. He said, go to this guy, Alan Lindell. He's who I go to. So our pastor actually got pastored by this guy, or counseled by this guy. We went 3 years? 3 solid years. We went every month, maybe sometimes every 2 weeks. And for the first part of it, I just unloaded. Like, we sat down and
Jimmy Fallon's monologue.
yeah, blah, 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 blah. This is all the stuff that's going on. I'm upset with his mom. She wants to be my best friend. I'm upset with my mom. Da, da, da. But it was awesome because that guy did not tell us what to do, but he was a pastoral counselor, he's a Christian. He biblically told us the gift that God gave us in marriage, which is sex. Sorry, PC. But that is a gift from God, not to be used outside of marriage. You know, he told us about it. He said, this is how you communicate. He's in charge of you, which, woo, man, that session when he said, Rob's in charge of the marriage, I'm like turning red because I was just like, I'm a woman. I do this, But biblically, I'm submitting to this man, right? I said that in the beginning. So all of that to say, communication is super important. We talk about it all the time. When we have a disagreement, he's like, are you declaring what you're trying to say? So that was our word with Alan, was declare. Did I say too much?
No.
Okay.
No.
Communication.
We're just laughing that Rob had to remind you where you were going.
Sorry.
That's what I do.
I know.
TMI.
I have spent many years with y'all, yes. If you can give one piece of marriage advice, what would it be?
It would definitely be making sure that your relationship with Christ is before your spouse. That you have that triangle with God at the top, and then you're over here, and your spouse is over there. Just because Christ has to be the center in order for it to work.
And I think that's even important now for y'all that, y'all are not necessarily looking at marriage right away, but your relationship right now prepares you to be the type of husband or the type of wife that you will ultimately be one day. So as long as you can get that right, because that's what yes, your relationship with God. If you can get that relationship with God right first, ultimately one day when you do find someone that you're going to ultimately marry one day, that relationship will be that much stronger just because of that relationship that you have with God. So I would say that's our most important advice we could give you right now, being in high school.
I would say marry your best friend. Marry somebody that makes you laugh. Marry somebody that you can have fun with. Because if you're going to spend the rest of your life with them, you need to be able to do those things, because laughter is going to get you through a lot of your hard times. And that friendship that you have is also going to help you get you through a lot of those hard times. And plus, when your kids are gone, you're stuck with them.
How bad, doesn't it?
I almost said amen. That would have been bad.
Now, I'm going to tell the practical side of it. First of all, you need to do your career first and get you a job. And you need to be in your 30s before you think about getting married. And then let God pick your spouse. Don't let the devil pick your spouse. The devil picks your spouse, you'll see me.
I have to interpret Scott. Zach's not helping at all. He's just sitting over laughing. That's all he's doing. I'm not. No, I mean, listen.
It wasn't. It was one person's reaction that
Yeah.
made me
Oh no,
laugh.
I saw it. I just had to ignore it because I would have started
I
laughing.
couldn't.
So, listen. All great advice, even Scott's great advice. Except for the 30 years old thing. Listen, I will say this though, for all of y'all, I think for your generation with dating apps and social media showing you a much more perfected version of what reality looks like, there's a lot of you that think that you can't marry your friend. That you have to be absolutely head over heels in love with somebody. Guys, I will tell you that it is much better to marry a friend, somebody that you can be friends with, and learn to love them the way Jesus loves you, than it is, on the flip side, to marry somebody that's beautiful but has absolutely nothing on the inside. I mean, I'm being serious, because there's a lot of you that only care about what's on the outside and care nothing about what's on the inside, and care nothing about the connection, the communication that can happen between you and another person. And if all you're looking at is the outside, you probably will find that you have nothing in common, that there's no Jesus there, and you can't communicate with them. And so, I mean, no marriage is perfect, but if you can find somebody that you enjoy being around, somebody that loves Jesus, and somebody that you can talk to and communicate with, like, that's going to get you a long way in marriage. A long way in marriage. Now, are you always going to enjoy that person? No. Absolutely not. I challenge you to ask any married adult in this room if you always enjoy being around your spouse. And every one of them is going to say, if they're being honest, no. But that doesn't change the way that we feel about our spouses. That doesn't change. I know, you're grinning at me.
Rob's not saying anything.
I know he's not, and he doesn't have to. That's why I'm saying it, so that nobody else has to. Let me get in trouble. But, guys, I don't know two people, and one of them not being Jesus, I don't know two people that have spent time together that didn't say, I need some space. I mean, you know, Jacob and Esau probably should have had some more space. Cain and Abel definitely should have had more space. I mean, you know, you think about it. If you read your Bible, especially the Old Testament, you will see how broken human relationships are. But do you know what? You know what fixes human relationships? Jesus. It doesn't completely fix it on this side of heaven. But man, if you don't have Jesus, you're going to stay broken. There's no forgiveness without Jesus. So let's give it up for our panelists tonight. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. But what? No, we didn't want you to talk about parenting teenagers. That's a discussion for another time. I wanted to embarrass them, but not that much.
Y'all are good.
Yeah,
Thank y'all.
Y'all are good. Thank you. You're good. Thank you. That what?
Well, that concludes our one-night show.
You notice
as we unison take a step back.
Yeah, of course. Because we can't have a one night without sound issues.
Every time.
So, hey, Silas, would you throw the widow banquet slide back up? We really, and I know that some of y'all are like, man, going to serve widows, why would I want to do that? Raise your hand if you've done it before, if you've served. I challenge you to ask any of these people if it was an absolutely horrible time, because it usually isn't. We have a great time doing it. We'd love for you to come and serve with us. What typically happens is I'm in the back making plates and doing that, and Zach's out front making sure food doesn't get spilled.
My inner Cracker Barrel comes out.
That's right. And then last but not least, man, doggone
it's you this time.
I know it is
you.
me. If you didn't hear Sunday, my family, I know some of y'all are like, no. Stop, don't say it again. All right. So my family and I will be moving to Jacksonville at the end of February. So I know some of y'all weren't here and you didn't know. What in the world, Zach? What in the world?
I was doing good till you sat down, till you stood up.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go back over here. There we go.
Yeah.
That's better. I accepted a call to be the family pastor at Fruit Cove Baptist in Jacksonville. Whoa. I know there's a lot of you. I've gotten some people that said, no, we're not going to let you go. I even had one student that texted me and said, I hate you. Even though she said, I didn't really mean that. That is the text that I got. I can show you. It's okay. I know she doesn't. Listen, guys. I wanted to say this at the very end because I want to make it very clear. There is nothing that happened. No, we don't hate you. Yes, we are just as sad as you are. I want y'all to understand that. However, like I said to a student earlier tonight, God called us somewhere else. And for us, the problem is that's sort of the other side of the coin for being a pastor, is God gets to call you one place and you get to serve there for a time, but then there's always this idea that God's going to call you somewhere else. And if you get to serve somewhere forever, he's still going to call you. He'll call you home to be with him. And so, yes, it is both sad and happy at the same time, which is a weird emotion. But we love you. Do not ever think that we do not love you. Do not ever think that. However, I love Jesus more than I love y'all. And when Jesus calls me somewhere, I don't need to tell him no, when we are absolutely sure that that's where God's calling us. I want y'all to realize and know that we as a family, meaning all four of us, me, Jennifer, Henry, and Caleb, have spent time praying about it, and we have absolutely no doubt that this is where God's calling us. However, we also have absolutely no doubt that God has a plan moving forward for y'all as well. So, and man, what a wonderful gift it was for all of us that I was able to be your student pastor for 11 years. Because I don't know if y'all realize, but the average tenure of a student pastor is less than 24 months now. So it is a wonderful gift that y'all put up with me while I was growing and learning even more about what it means to be a student pastor, and I got to lead you. And that is a wonderful gift from God, and that's something that nobody can ever take away from me, is I got to lead you amazing people. So I'm going to pray. We're going to head to the house. If you want to give me a hug, even though there's like 8 of y'all that already gave me a hug while we were doing Extreme Bingo, which was unexpected. I didn't expect that, but I am 2 years older than the vast majority of the people in this room. So, not everybody, though. There are a few of you that are older than I am.
And grab your trash.
Yes, please grab your trash. We want the cleaning ladies to be happy with us. So, let me pray, and then we'll hit the road. God, thank you for tonight. Thank you for the opportunity that we have to be loved by you, to be forgiven by you, for there to be a plan for our lives that you give us. Thank you for the time that you give us. Help us not to waste it. In your name I pray. Amen. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, middle school will be in the launch pad. High school will be here in the hangar. Just a little bit.
A little bit. I think we're both 43.
Yeah, we are.